You walk on top of the lie every day. They told you the chaos of the 19th century was contained to the surface. The mud flood, the buried buildings, the fake photographs. This is the subterranean lie. The greatest secret of the Great Reset is the massive, complex world that lies directly beneath your feet, an endless network of Tartarian tunnels and forgotten cities. The early subway systems, built with impossible speed and precision, were not new inventions. They were seized and repurposed Tartarian transport conduits, hastily modified by the Cabal to mask the true extent of the underground civilization. That we have found suppressed military documents detailing the sealing of thousands of access points beneath major civic buildings, proving that the 19th century elite lived in terror of an invasion from below by the surviving Tartarian forces. This documentary will expose the true, chilling function of the earliest metro lines, reveal the secret of the tunnel artifact used for navigation, and pinpoint the biggest sealed entrance in a major global capital. Watch until the very end, subscribe this channel, like this video, and you will learn the exact geological location of the main Tartarian subterranean capital. The conspiracy is carved in the bedrock. The mud flood was not just a flow of sediment. It was a devastating event that separated the Tartarian surface world from its functional subterranean counterpart. The survivors on the surface, the new elite, found themselves living on a fragile crust above a world of unknown complexity and power. Their greatest priority was sealing the access. The sheer scale of the tunnel systems is absurd under the guise of mere sewage or water pipes. The early reports of explorers and engineers from the 19th century speak of endless, perfectly engineered stone tunnels, often heated and illuminated, stretching beneath entire continents. This infrastructure confirms the existence of a highly advanced, deep subterranean civilization. The early construction of the subways in the late 19th century, the massive excavation, the sudden appearance of complex tunneling technology was the ultimate subterranean hoax. The subway was not a public service innovation. It was a military operation to seize and simplify the Tartarian transport conduits. The official story claims the 19th century engineers spent years digging through bedrock using primitive steam tools. This is a deliberate fabrication. The reality is that the engineers found massive, pre-existing Tartarian tunnels and merely installed tracks and ventilation. The speed of construction in these early subway projects is statistically impossible without pre-existing infrastructure. The early metro lines were strategically planned to 1. Mask key conduits. The main subway routes often follow the deepest, most complex Tartarian power and water conduits, masking these vital systems as mundane transport lines. Point 2. Limit access. The new subway stations served as controlled entry points, limiting public access to the main underground infrastructure and preventing accidental discovery of the deeper, forbidden cities. The 19th century propaganda presented the subway as a symbol of modernity, distracting the public from the fact that they were traveling through the ancient, sealed arteries of a lost empire. The smooth, easy travel was a constant, subconscious reminder that high technology existed, but was now controlled and monetized. The challenge of navigating the subterranean world is immense. The Tartarians solved this with a sophisticated artifact. We reveal the tunnel artifact, a device that proves the underground cities were easily traversable. This artifact, often mislabeled in 19th century archives as a complex miner's compass or a geological sextant, was a Tartarian inertial guidance and mapping device. It allowed a traveler to navigate the endless, dark, and complex tunnel networks with absolute precision, even through magnetically dense rock. The military elite desperately hunted this artifact because it was the key to the lower world. With it, the surviving Tartarian forces could easily coordinate and launch attacks on the surface. By seizing and suppressing the tunnel artifact, the controllers ensured that the deeper, richer cities remained hidden and inaccessible to both the surface population and themselves. The construction of the artifact, using crystalline resonators and non-magnetic metals, is impossible for 19th century metallurgy. Its existence confirms that Tartaria's technological mastery extended deep beneath the Earth's crust. The deepest fear of the 19th century elite was that the Tartarian survivors from below would attempt to breach the surface. The next segment will expose the truth about the sealed infrastructure, the massive, concrete plugs and iron doors found beneath major public buildings. Look at the oldest public buildings and government centers. We have found suppressed architectural blueprints detailing massive, reinforced iron doors and concrete plugs beneath the deepest basement levels. These are not for storage. They were anti-invasion seals. The 19th century elite lived in fear of a coordinated attack from the Tartarian survivors who retreated into the lower world. The mud flood had already proven the surface world was fragile. The massive sealing operation was launched to prevent the underground cities from connecting to the surface. These sealed doors are often disguised as structural elements or buried beneath newly poured cement in the 19th century. Their sheer thickness and complex locking mechanisms, far exceeding any conventional vault, prove their purpose was military, to withstand immense upward pressure. The frantic, continuous effort to seal the underground entrances provides undeniable proof that the tunnel world is real and that the 19th century was defined by a hidden, ongoing conflict between the surface usurpers and the subterranean inheritors. The sealing operations were costly. The next segment will reveal the shocking evidence that the construction of massive civic buildings in the 19th century was merely a cover story to justify the heavy security and logistics needed for the sealing process. The monumental city halls, government buildings, and central bank headquarters constructed in the 19th century were often not built for governmental function. Their massive scale was a cover story designed to justify the logistics and security required for the subterranean sealing operations. The immense architectural effort allowed the controllers to 1. Deploy military assets. The construction site provided a plausible reason for massive military presence, heavy machinery, and restricted access zones, all necessary for the dangerous task of sealing Tartarian tunnels beneath. 2. Budget masking. The colossal budgets allocated for new city halls actually financed the cost of the subterranean sealing materials, massive amounts of concrete and specialized iron. The 19th century City Hall, therefore, is the ultimate monument to the deception, a majestic facade built solely to mask a massive, clandestine military operation happening directly beneath its foundations. The surface was about politics and law. The subsurface was about survival and war. The physical sealing was achieved, but the technological secret of the tunnel world was exposed in a simple household object. The next segment will reveal the artifact, a seemingly harmless toy that proved the 19th century elite knew how to build a working model of the Tartarian tunnel system. The physical sealing was achieved, but the technological secret of the tunnel world was exposed in a simple household object. The next segment will reveal the artifact, a seemingly harmless toy that proved the 19th century elite knew how to build a working model of the Tartarian tunnel system. Look at the blueprints for the most complex 19th century novelty items, the elaborate mechanical toys and educational dioramas. One particular item, often labeled as a magnetic labyrinth solver, was, in reality, a working-scale model of the Tartarian tunnel network beneath a major European capital. This seemingly innocent toy used complex, non-ferrous magnets and wires to simulate the energy flow and pathways of the underground conduits. The purpose of this toy was twofold. 1. Technological preservation. It preserved the complex Tartarian routing technology in a format the Cabal could study without immediately understanding its true, dangerous scale. 2. Propaganda through play. It conditioned the children of the elite to interact with and accept the complex idea of a vast, sealed labyrinth beneath their feet, normalizing the existence of the subterranean world as a solvable, harmless puzzle. This proves that the controllers did not just seal the Tartarian world. They actively documented and internalized its secrets, often hiding the most important data in plain sight. The subterranean cities needed to be functional, which means they were warm and self-sustaining. The 19th century elite seized control of the Tartarian heat exchange systems and rebranded them as a district heating revolution. The official story of the 19th century's rapid expansion of steam-based district heating is a lie. They did not build these vast systems of underground pipes. They merely tapped into the already existing, efficient Tartarian geothermal conduits that once supplied heat to the subterranean cities. The cabal presented this as a modern innovation, but it was theft on a massive infrastructural scale. Evidence includes 1. Impossible scale. The sheer volume of steam pipes laid down in a short time is impossible for 19th century production capacity. 2. Strange placement. Many pipes run through areas without any logical surface function, suggesting they are merely hot taps into the main, deeper Tartarian heat veins by seizing the heat supply. The cabal achieved two goals. They secured energy for themselves, and they gained a powerful tool for pressuring any remaining Tartarian survivors who still relied on that same heat flow in the deeper tunnels. The next piece of evidence exposes the most cynical act of the cabal: the use of Tartarian infrastructure to actively trap the remaining survivors. This involves the massive underground water reservoirs found beneath nearly every major city. These reservoirs, built with advanced Tartarian waterproofing and filtration systems, were designed to supply the endless subterranean cities with fresh water. The 19th century elite quickly seized control, but they used them for a chilling purpose: selective flooding and contamination. Suppressed reports and engineers' notes from the late 19th century speak of unexplained fluctuations in water levels and unusual contamination scares in the deepest reservoirs. These are not accidents. They were deliberate acts of war. Targeted flooding to collapse sections of the deeper tunnels, or chemical contamination designed to force survivors to the surface, where they could be captured or eliminated. The water supply became a weapon of mass control. The entire geological map of the world was a lie, fabricated to mask the true extent of the subterranean network. The 19th century saw a massive, coordinated effort to produce faked geological and seismological surveys. These surveys consistently claimed that the bedrock beneath major capitals was solid and impenetrable, making extensive, deep tunneling impossible. This was a psychological firewall designed to stop the public from ever questioning the true nature of the ground beneath their feet. The cabal needed to discredit any legitimate discovery of a deep Tartarian city. The fake surveys were used to 1. Explain noise. Any underground noise or vibration from the lower world was officially attributed to natural seismic activity or rock shifting. 2. Suppress exploration. The official data made it technically illegal or prohibitively expensive for independent explorers or miners to dig deeper than the basement level, guaranteeing the Tartarian world remains sealed. The lie of the solid bedrock is the geological foundation of the Great Reset. You have been told the catacombs of Europe, the vast, sprawling underground networks, are merely ancient cemeteries or abandoned mines. This is a deliberate, historical misdirection. The catacombs were the Tartarian world's original, accessible buffer zone. The catacombs are not disorganized pits. They feature an uncanny structural uniformity and often connect to much deeper, inaccessible chambers. They serve two primary Tartarian functions. 1. Air filtration. Their immense volume and structure helped filter air for the deeper cities. 2. Emergency access. They were the high-level emergency exit and communication channels, designed to be easily concealed and accessed by surface Tartarians. The 19th century elite repurposed this zone as a cemetery to achieve the ultimate social control, turn the entrance to a lost city into a symbol of death and fear. By filling the passages with human remains, they ensured that the public would never dare to explore the depths, thereby sealing the most critical Tartarian access point with a weight of taboo. We have exposed the fake surveys, the water traps, and the catacomb hoax. But the ultimate symbol of the subterranean lie is the Tartarian tunneling machine itself, a device too powerful to be destroyed. The final part will reveal where they hid this massive, powerful machine. The greatest secrecy surrounding the subterranean world involves the existence of underground military bases. We are told these were built recently. This is a deliberate fabrication. The 19th century elite seized and repurposed pre-existing Tartarian underground cities as their top-secret command centers. The Tartarians built vast, fortified, self-sustaining cities beneath the surface, safe havens from the inevitable cyclical catastrophes. After the mud flood, the elite found and occupied these sites. The official lie: we built this in the 20th century. The evidence lies in the impossible age and scale of these modern military tunnels. The use of geopolymer stone, precision machining, and immense volume proves their Tartarian origin. The military deployment was necessary to 1. Control the technology. The Tartarian cities still contained advanced energy and communication systems. 2. Quarantine. Isolate the cabal from the compromised surface world and the resettled population. The underground military base is the ultimate proof that the 19th century elite inherited an entire functional world. The Tartarian subterranean cities required absolute protection from surface and cosmic threats. They achieved this with the geomagnetic shielding artifact, a device that the 19th century elite immediately suppressed. This artifact, often described as a massive, intricate crystal and copper matrix, was found near the entrances of the deepest tunnels. Its true purpose was to generate a powerful, localized magnetic field capable of repelling seismic shocks and deflecting harmful radiation. The Cabal seized the shielding artifact because it provided the blueprint for absolute security. They could not replicate the technology fully, but they used the fundamental design principles to fortify their own bank vaults and government centers, giving their assets Tartarian-level protection. The official story dismissed the artifact as geological curiosity, ensuring its true strategic value remained hidden. The core of the subterranean lie is the Tartarian tunneling machine itself, a massive, self-propelled device capable of melting or vibrating through solid rock. This machine was too powerful to be destroyed. We reveal where the 19th century elite hid it. The machine, which could expose the entire underground world, was disassembled and hidden in the massive, sealed industrial exhibition halls at the world's fairs. The largest, most complex components were deliberately mislabeled as 1. Giant locomotives. The main tunneling head was disguised as the front of a colossal, ornate steam engine. 2. Printing presses. The precision cutting mechanisms were hidden as parts of massive, industrial printing equipment. The machine's existence was neutralized by compartmentalization and mislabeling. The parts were displayed individually as symbols of 19th century industrial might, never allowing the public to see the components assembled into the devastating tunneling device to maintain the subway hoax. The 19th century elite produced fake documentary photographs showing the construction of new subway tunnels. These images were designed to hide the pre-existing Tartarian infrastructure. These staged photos consistently showed workers drilling and digging through solid rock with primitive tools, emphasizing the difficulty of the task. The reality was that these shots were taken in small, isolated construction shafts where the work was genuinely hard, and then inserted into a narrative that claimed all tunnels were built this way. The fake photos ignored the vast, smooth, and easily traversable Tartarian sections. This visual lie cemented the idea that the subways were a 19th century innovation, ensuring that the public would never suspect they were traveling through the preserved arteries of a lost civilization. We have exposed the final secrets of the tunnel world: the massive anti-seismic shielding, the military occupation of underground cities, and the deceptive fate of the Tartarian tunneling machine. The truth is that a vast, superior world exists beneath your feet, sealed and controlled by the elite. The ultimate warning is this: the subterranean Tartarian world is not dead. It is merely dormant. The chaos of the mud flood proved that the surface is fragile, and the lower world remains the ultimate stronghold. We have revealed the secrets of the sealed tunnels and the military's ultimate hideout. Now it is your turn to act. If this video has opened your eyes to the existence of the cities beneath your feet, then subscribe to Epoch Reset, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment below right now. Tell us, do you believe the Tartarian tunneling machine is still operational? And And what is the biggest secret you think the military is hiding in the repurposed underground cities?